for our sports chat this morning, we saw South Africa were made to sweat to their 2-0 victory over Sao Tome in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier at Moses Mabhida. Goals from Percy Tau and Bongani Zungu helped helped South Africa move to within 3 points behind Ghana in Group C. And just to chat a bit more about yesterday's game, I'm joined this morning by Bafana Bafana, or former Bafana Bafana midfielder Reneilwe Yeye Letsholonyane. Reneilwe, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Let's start off with your thoughts from yesterday's game on how you saw Bafana Bafana performing.
Good morning to me, and thanks for having me. Yeah, it was great that we managed to win and then get the points that were needed for us to be in order to have a chance to qualify for the AFCON.
I mean, the sentiments are the fact that, listen, yes, we did win, and we need to look at the results. But most people, I even saw with the reports or the headlines this morning saying that was a scrappy win. Do you think it's an unfair statement to make as someone that has been in the national team, that we must rather look at the results, not how they got those results?
Sure. We as a country, as a nation, we need to choose at the moment what we want, the performance or the results. If it's the performance, then because we kind of sort of trying to build a new team, a whole lot of players with a new coach, so it will take time for the team to play the way we want them to be, like an entertaining football. But if that's the results that we want, we got the results, and then without playing obviously how we wanted to play, but the results came, and then that's what's important at the moment for me.
Okay, I hear you saying that the results are important for you, but then some are saying, I mean, it was a country that is 182nd ranked in the world. Should it not be easy for Bafana to beat a country like that?
It is still human beings. You're still playing against 11 players. If they were playing alone, or if Bafana were playing alone, then I would expect 20 or 25 nil. But it's still human beings. They still play football, and then it's always going to be difficult to play against such countries or teams. So again, for me, what is important, it's the 3 points that will give us a chance as a nation to qualify.
I mean, we saw some of the players termed as tried and tested coming back into the national team. Compared to the team that was playing previously, does it mean that perhaps we need to stick to what we know rather than head coach Ntseki trying new combinations with new players in the team?
Yeah, it's important for consistency and for us as a country to start gelling and then knowing each other as players. They need to be consistent with the team they play and then the players that they choose. Obviously, if there's one or two that are raising their hands that are not regulars, they must be included in the team. But the core of the team should remain for as long as they can, so that they get to know each other and then play the entertaining football that we want as a country. And when we play, or when the country plays the friendly games with sort of other, like friendly games rather, then it is when the coach can give more players a chance, so that he increases pool of players.
We've seen a lot of pressure has been on head coach Ntseki since he became the head coach of Bafana Bafana. Do you think this win is enough to ease that pressure off his shoulders?
Unfortunately, our national team hasn't been doing very well in the past few years. So yesterday's win, it is not doing what it's supposed to do, which is removing pressure out of from him. Instead, you mentioned that now people are complaining about the performance. So for him, it's going to be difficult each and every game that Bafana plays. It is what it is. He's our national team coach, and I think by now he knows how to deal with the pressure, and he knows what to do, which for the pressure to move out. It's to try and win games, qualify for big tournaments.
Are there any players that have been impressing you in the national team?
Look, yesterday's game, like everyone else saw, it was a slowish, sluggish performance, more especially from us as a team. We expected obviously to dominate the game, and then we we played individually, but not as a team. So I would I would not really mention individuals from yesterday's game, but to say everyone who was involved contributed that smaller younger percentage for us to get the points.
I mean, earlier on you said, as football fans in the country, we need to be patient and wait on the team to gel. Slowly but surely it will get there. And a lot of people have been saying we've been waiting on Bafana Bafana to perform better, give us better performances out there. What do you think Bafana needs to get to that consistent performance internationally?
I agree. The supporters have been patient for years, but they must remember as well that for every coach that is being appointed to be Bafana Bafana coach, now it means the rebuilding phase start from the scratch, and then that means South Africans must be patient for long. Coach Mulifi is a new coach, a few months in the job, and then it is that thing again where South Africa needs to be patient, give him time, give him support, and then hopefully that he will stay longer with the national team, and then see in the next year or two how the national team will be playing under him, given at least a longer period of time.
Are you saying that the chop and changing of coaches in the national team is affecting the performance?
Definitely. Every coach has his or her own style of play, players that he prefers, and when you start your new job, you obviously bring that, and then you kind of uh, get away from how things were done or the players that were used, and you start things afresh. You use your own formation, you use your own philosophy. There's a whole lot of things that a new coach does that compared to the previous coach. So it's a new start, and chopping and changing of coaches contribute to the lack of getting results or the good football that we are supposed to be playing as a country.
Game that played yesterday, if you had the chance to change anything, what would you change?
I wouldn't change much, or rather anything. I would take yesterday's performance as the base going forward, and in terms of how we play going forward offensively, I think we look good because of individual players, but we still not playing as a team as much as we can. But that's it's again the lack of spending time together, training together, and then the coach explaining thoroughly what needs to be done for games to be won defensively and offensively. So at times we look good because of individual players, but most of the times we can see that we playing as individuals because of that lack of time. So for me, I wouldn't change much. I would keep the team the way it is and it was, and then try and win the game again on Monday.
I mean, obviously we're in Group C. There's Ghana, there's Sudan, there's Sao Tome. What are Bafana Bafana's chances in making it through to the next round, according to you?
We have a big chance to qualify. It's not going to be easy. I know Sudan, very difficult country to play against. Ghana, obviously, they are one of the top teams in Africa. What we need to do now is it's get the 3 points again from Sao Tome, and then prepare, wait for the time and prepare well for our last few games. But our chances are very high for us to qualify.
Really, thank you very much for your thoughts on yesterday's game and Bafana Bafana's chances of making it through to the next round. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how they will perform in that second game against Sao Tome. Reneilwe Yeye Letsholonyane, who is the former Bafana Bafana midfielder, just letting us in on his thoughts on Bafana Bafana's chances of actually qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations.